In the exact second you just blinked, our sun incinerated over 600 million tons of hydrogen. We blindly trust that this glowing orb is our eternal protector, the ultimate source of life. But the reality? That cosmic machine is bleeding out, killing itself with every ticking second. On the day it takes its last breath, our faithful protector will become the monster that executes us. Before facing our inevitable doom, hit that subscribe button to uncover more dark cosmic truths. When the sun runs out of fuel, it won't just quietly flick off like a broken light bulb. Its death will unleash the most violent chain of disasters our solar system has ever seen. Oceans will boil into vapor, skies will ignite, and our green planet will be swallowed whole, leaving zero trace behind. This isn't a sci-fi script. This is a predetermined astrophysics death sentence. Let's fast forward time to witness our own apocalypse. To understand exactly how the sun will execute us, you first need to understand why it hasn't obliterated us already. For the past 4.5 billion years, a brutal cosmic tug-of-war called hydrostatic equilibrium has been raging deep inside our star. On one side, the sun's unimaginable gravity is constantly trying to crush its own mass inward, down into a microscopic point. But fighting back is the core, detonating the equivalent of billions of hydrogen bombs every single second. This thermonuclear fusion creates a colossal outward pressure. These two titans, the crushing inward gravity and the explosive outward force, are locked in a violent deadlock, keeping the whole machine stable. But no engine runs forever. Remember those 600 million tons of hydrogen burning up every second? The tank is rapidly emptying. In about 5 billion years, that core will run completely dry. The ultimate nuclear reactor will just shut off. Instantly, that massive outward pressure simply vanishes. That is the exact moment gravity, the silent, patient assassin that waited billions of years, finally wins the war. It viciously chokes the core, crushing matter inward with terrifying, unimaginable force. But here is the twisted irony of astrophysics. This brutal collapse generates an insane amount of extreme heat, violently superheating the sun's outer shell. The horrifying result? Instead of shrinking away, this boiling outer layer starts expanding like a runaway nightmare, swelling up uncontrollably and defying every limit. The fragile era of life is officially over. The terrifying reign of the red giant monster has just begun. As that outer shell inflates, the sun is no longer the gentle yellow star we once knew. It officially morphs into a monstrous red giant. Imagine the sheer, terrifying scale of this cosmic horror. It doesn't just double or triple in size. It violently expands its volume by millions of times, stretching its diameter to over 256 times its current familiar size. If you drop this bloated giant back into its original spot at the center of our solar system, its outer surface would stretch millions of miles outward into deep space. It forms a colossal glowing red tsunami of roaring plasma, relentlessly devouring absolutely everything in its path. The very first victim in this great cosmic slaughter is Mercury. This barren, sun-scorched rocky world stands zero chance of survival against such overwhelming power. When the crushing wall of 5,400 degree Fahrenheit plasma finally hits, Mercury's solid rocky crust doesn't just crack, it instantly melts into rivers of liquid magma and then aggressively vaporizes into a cloud of hot gas in a matter of seconds. Just like that, an entire planet is completely digested within the belly of our dying star, erased from the cosmos forever. But the ruthless war machine doesn't stop there. It stretches its massive fiery tentacles onward, hunting for its next meal, Venus. Despite possessing its own hellish, thick, acidic atmosphere that crushes probes in minutes, Venus is utterly helpless. It suffers the exact same horrific fate. The planet is chewed up, swallowed whole by the blinding inferno, and permanently wiped from the celestial map as if it never existed. Then the sun's terrifying boiling boundary creeps up to the final line, Earth's orbital path. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine standing on Earth's surface during this doomed era. When you look up, you won't see a brilliant, blinding little sphere suspended in the blue sky anymore. Instead, the monstrous sun completely suffocates the entire horizon. The sky you know is violently replaced by an inescapable dark crimson dome of raging fire, stretching unbroken from the North Pole all the way to the deep south. You won't be able to spot a single other twinkling star in the galaxy. There is only an oppressive, blood-red void swallowing the world, as an unimaginable, suffocating heat begins to scorch every single square inch of our fragile planet. But here is a brutal truth that few see coming. Earth won't even survive long enough to witness that red giant monster. Our death sentence arrives much, much sooner. In just about 1 billion years, the sun's core will gradually heat up, increasing its total brightness by a mere 10%. 10% sounds tiny, almost harmless, but for our fragile blue planet, it is the exact threshold of extinction. That slight bump in solar radiation will trigger an apocalyptic physics phenomenon known as the runaway greenhouse effect. Imagine the unimaginable heat pounding down, relentlessly baking the surface of our world. The oceans won't just get uncomfortably warm, they will literally boil. As trillions of gallons of water violently evaporate, all that steam fills the atmosphere, acting as an incredibly powerful greenhouse gas. It forms a massive, inescapable blanket that traps all the incoming solar heat, creating a terrifying death loop. The hotter it gets, the more water evaporates. The more water evaporates, the hotter it gets. Soon, the Pacific, the Atlantic, and every single drop of water on Earth will be boiled completely dry. Without oceans to act as a lubricant, our planet's tectonic plates will seize up and grind to a halt. Earth will transform into a dead, suffocating, red-hot sphere of rock, looking exactly like the hellscape of Venus today. And then, 5 billion years later, when that colossal plasma wall of the red giant finally reaches Earth's doorstep, what actually happens? Astronomers once held on to a thin sliver of hope. They thought that as the sun lost its mass, its gravitational grip would weaken, allowing Earth to slowly drift away to safety. But modern physics models have violently crushed that hope. The immense tidal drag generated by the sun's bloated outer atmosphere will aggressively yank our planet backward. The pale blue dot that cradled human history will be dragged straight into that fiery maw. The surface will melt into bubbling magma, and every remaining trace of our existence will be permanently erased, dissolving forever into the very belly of the star that gave us life. After destroying everything, the colossal war machine finally exhausts itself. Gravity can no longer hold on to the outer layers. The sun will take one final gentle breath, softly exhaling its entire outer shell of plasma into the cold void. The violence and chaos end, replaced by one of the universe's most breathtaking masterpieces, a planetary nebula. These beautifully glowing clouds of gas, carrying the vaporized remnants of Earth itself, will drift aimlessly among the stars. But what remains at the very center? As the fiery veil drifts away, the dead core of our sun is finally exposed. It is a white dwarf. Imagine half the mass of our entire sun violently crushed and compacted into a tiny sphere no larger than Earth. It is a super-dense cosmic diamond, casting a haunting, pale white glow into the darkness. There are no more nuclear reactions, no more heartbeat. The star is truly dead. Our sun, now a white dwarf, will spend the next several trillion years slowly cooling down. It will radiate its final fading warmth into the abyss until its temperature drops permanently. It will become a black dwarf, an invisible tomb floating silently in the eternal cosmic dark. There will be no light, no warmth, and absolutely no one left to remember that in this freezing, empty void, a vibrant blue planet named Earth ever existed. It is a remarkably quiet ending, but an inescapable law of nature. If this journey to the end of time left you breathless, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so we can explore more of the universe's darkest secrets together.